homecoming. Okay, Marshall Week, uh, week 4 of the college football season for us. And this football team, uh, coming off a hard fought game versus Nevada, got back late yesterday or early in the morning, however you want to see it. Came out, practiced in the afternoon, and again, like this football team has traveled, sort of tested itself a little bit. Um, has a decent understanding in week 3 of where we are as we move towards Marshall. And what we have to do in week 4 for us is level out the consistency by which we function in the red zone. This football team is capable of scoring points. We need to do so. You look at our health coming into this ball game. I think we're pretty good. And we continue to get better defensively. We had some big plays show up on both sides. And in special teams, there's some things to clean up. But when I look at this football team continues to aspire to be better. And we're going to continue to work on the things going to give us a chance week in and week out. But we know this week our challenge is scoring points and making sure that we defend well as playing special teams. So excited about the contest, excited about what's in front of us. And I know I'm going to get some questions about homecoming, but like to us, man, in the football game is what matters.
Coach, you guys have shown improvement every week this season, and you got your first win against Nevada over the weekend. How do you take that next step and build on that going into Marshall?
Yeah, consistency, right? We have some areas that we know, okay, need to improve and that we can improve in. And I think what we talk about is quality versus quantity. You can practice 3 hours or you can practice an hour and 15 minutes. The bottom line is the quality of the work allows you to gain confidence. Okay, the consistency allows you to win, right? So that's where we're at right now, man. We're deep diving, man, for this quality of work, man. Whether we talk about communication, whether we talk about guys being on the same page, whether we talk about chemistry and function, all those things got to happen, and they got to happen. It happens organically, but we're just speeding up that process. Okay, less equals more.
Looking at Marshall's offense, they've used 3 different quarterbacks, and I believe at least 2 every game.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for an offense like that they can throw multiple things at you at once?
That's almost what we've seen all season. So I don't think that's anything new for our defense. I mean, I think we've seen 2 quarterbacks in almost every game that we played. Yeah, I mean, other than Wisconsin. So I think just the idea of understanding who they are, okay, what's their DNA, and then preparing for that. That's sort of what we went into with this last game. Thought Purdy would be the quarterback. It showed us a different quarterback, and really, when it was all said and done, I mean, like their DNA was still their DNA. So I think you look at teams' DNA, okay, and who they are and what they want to be. They're not going to change too far from that just to get into a week 4 contest, getting on the road. I think they're going to be who they are. Those quarterbacks are all very similar. I know Zion Turner. I recruited him out of St. Thomas Aquinas. And he wound up going to UConn, and he looked like he was a starter versus Georgia. But then you see how the carousel has gone. So for them, if that's the way they do it, then what we're going to do is defend football and not worry about who's playing quarterback.
You said in the past game that game exactly showed you all what you're made of.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into this homecoming week, how do you think you are to continue that momentum to just strive for more success?
Well, here's the thing, right? A lot of pressure on us to score in the last 2 drives and score touchdowns, right? Well, we've learned over the last couple of weeks, whatever we can focus on, we can apply some pressure to and actually become better at. So let's apply pressure to ourselves. Let's start in quarter number 1. Let's apply some pressure with having the football, scoring points. Let's apply some pressure getting off the field, and let's play well in special teams. And let's try starting fast and see where that takes us.
Coach, you're going to see a familiar player in Marvin Myers this week. What's it like going up against the former guy you coached?
Yeah, man, Marvin, is having a good season. Marvin is physical. He was a great special teams player, man, who actually got better, man, playing the corner position, and he's starting for them. He's playing well. I'm proud of what he's doing, and I wish him well. But man, we look to compete on Saturday. So right now, I'm more focused on us than I am Marvin.
The last win at home was Kennesaw State in last October. What needs to happen to win these home games?
Yeah, I'll go back to it. I don't think you're going to hear me deviate from it a whole lot. Like consistency, right? I mean, we're getting opportunities. We're getting opportunities to get off the field. We're getting opportunities to put ourselves in the red zone. We just got to execute at a higher level, and that's where the focus is. We're getting there now. It's just about functioning at a higher rate in order to be the type of football team that we need to be.
Marshall's defense the last 2 games has been outstanding, especially on the front seven.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about the challenges that they present this week.
They're big up front. They're big up front. The backers move well. They do a good job of applying pressure, and when you watch them, right, they do a pretty good job of building a wall, setting edges. I think, like any good defense, they communicate well. Okay, and they found themselves in a position where they're not giving up explosives. That's what you got to do. You got to limit explosive plays. When you can do that, and scores go down and opportunities go up.
Coach, I know y'all are looking forward to this weekend against Marshall, but I want to go back to one specific play last week. The first touchdown against Nevada, Najee catches it about the 5-yard line, and the whole offensive line comes and just pushes him in. Or what does that say about the heart of this team at this point in the season?
Well, they're still finding themselves, right? I think a lot of that is chemistry and these guys learning one another. What we saw last week was our quarterback, our leader, do a really good job at keeping us in the fight, and at the end of the day, sort of willed us. And when your quarterback displays that type of will, okay, man, and ferociousness in terms of how he plays, I think, man, it becomes contagious. But when you talk about it, those guys are starting to lean into one another. I told these guys, man, their best superpower is them. It's not your own individual talents, man. Football's the ultimate team game. So the superpower comes from this idea that you lean into each other, and when you do, you can accomplish special things.
Coach, I believe it was that play that Cox went down injured. What's his status looking like at Marshall this week?
Who? Najee Cox?
Yeah.
And Najee Cox came back and played the rest of the game. So I don't think that's. I mean, I saw him out there running yesterday. He looked good to me. It's like anything else, man. The dude plays a certain way. He plays physical. I mean, he makes physical catches. He blocks on the perimeter. He just happened to have about 1,400 pounds of man squash him. So I think like on that particular play, man, it was more about trying to get a second win than it was anything else.
Talk about Juwan Gaston and,
Yeah.
and the day he had.
Yeah, Jawan's Jawan's an adventure, to say the least, man. I love Jawan, man. Jawan is colorful, man.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, man. He's colorful. He plays the game a certain way. He's learning how to play within the infrastructure of what we have, and that accountability by his teammates, man, is gonna allow him with his talents and abilities to be a big time playmaker for us. I mean, he's got great vision, and he understands football. Just learning how to communicate and making sure, man, that he allows his teammates as well as like himself to play within the structure of what we do. Sometimes, but when you're just doing your job, the ball hits you in the face. Man, he had two opportunities. One where he got off the hash, he saw the throw, it gets tipped up by a corner, ball hits him in the face. Okay, the next one, man, he's sitting in the end zone, being exactly where he's supposed to be, reading the quarterback eyes, ball hits him in the face. I think that's what Juwan can do because he's got great vision, he's got great instincts. The biggest thing, like for all of us, man, is just we just keep playing within the structure of what we do. And I tell you what, these players make it come alive. It's not the X's and O's, it's truly the Jimmies and Joes.
We now have a question on Zoom from Jonathan House. Jonathan, you're up.
Hey, I hope you can hear me. Coach, you mentioned earlier that y'all were getting back to being healthy. Can you give us any kind of injury update on Alex Mitchell and a couple of your other key guys that are out?
No, those guys are working every day to get better. Like no updates as of now. If there's something as we get closer to the game, I'll let you know.
Anything else, Coach? Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.